What up, YouTube? This is Insane Monster, and today is part one of What If Deku Was Half Gargoyle. In the last video, it was part zero where I described Deku's background in this What If and everything. So and stopped at about the time when the anime officially starts. So let's get back to it. Now, uh, we start off uh, back where Kamui Wood is fighting off the giant villain. Obviously, Deku's in kind of a hurry getting to school and frustrated that a villain is just blocking the train. His thoughts were, I'd love to take notes, but I'm in a hurry. So, him and Sue, if you remember the last video, that is the name of Deku's gargoyle dog. They start scaling the building while Deku takes mental note of the fight and quickly scales the building with his little scaly canine friend. And by the time they get there, Mount Lady rushes in and defeats the giant villain before Kamui could catch him. Of course, he still takes the mental notes on Mount Lady and all that, but he has to hurry, so he grabs Sue and jumps off the roof, soaring to go to class. Not Streets were a bit too crowded for a running start to get some air. He gets there, Sue just sleeps in the courtyard, and class goes as normal with everybody cheering after their teacher talked about their career forms, tossing them in the air, saying that they all just want to be heroes. As the teacher remarks that there were two students that applied for UA, Bakugo and Midoriya, which everybody isn't really surprised by that. Bakugo's explosions were seriously powerful and gotten stronger than in canon from sparring with Deku on a base by base. So he is stronger, and they for sure Deku were going to get in. He was strong enough to claw through sheer rock and concrete as well as tear steel in half. But due to the kind of rivalry thing that Bakugo and Deku have in this universe, they do kind of glare at each other with a kind of look that says that they're going to be the ones on top. So with this kind of dynamic between them, Bakugo doesn't blow up his notes, but before Deku leaves, he does write down everything about his notes on the fight he saw, which Bakugo sees and says, "Seriously? Still writing those damn notes? Which one are you even on? It's 13, right?" If I think that's the right. I think that's the right notebook number he's currently on. But okay, Deku just said, "Yeah, I'm writing down stuff about the heroes Kamui Woods and the new one, Mount Lady. Saw them fighting at the train station against the giant villain." Bakugo just replies with, "Oh yeah, I heard about that. Caused a good bit of damage too, didn't they?" Deku just said, "Yeah," as he gets up, puts away his notebook, and just kind of jumps out the window, soaring right to Sue. Bakugo remarking, seriously? Can't use a door like a normal person? In this what if, since Deku could fly, he just takes Shu and swords. The sludge villain does still pop up at the underpass and sees nobody's there, freaking out, thinking, "Damn it! I can't believe he's here." Just my luck. I have to find somebody to hide in. So he slithers away in between some small cracks and stuff like that, where All Might popped up looking for him and saying, "Damn it, I'm almost out of time. I have to hurry." As a little bit of time so that first interaction in the underpass doesn't happen with Deku and All Might, but the sludge villain does still grab Bakugo. And as Deku is flying with Shu, he sees and hears a big old explosion, which Shu just barks repeatedly at, with Deku marking, "Yeah, I know that noise anywheres. How much you want to bet he's in trouble?" With Shu just kind of whimpering, looking at him. And Deku replying with, "Oh, well, let's go see. I know he isn't stupid enough to cause trouble unless he was being attacked, but I doubt I doubt he's in any real trouble." They land close to where the crowd is in the back, and which is where Deku crosses his wings, which with gargoyles makes kind of like a cloak thing with their wings on them. He looks over and sees a sludge villain and hears people remarking that he captured a kid. Deku's mind is going like, "Wait, he captured someone? A kid?" He takes a good look and sees that's it, Bakugo. And as for All Might, he's there on the sidelines, thinking, "Damn it, I'm out of time." Come on. And you just see that Deku is just has a blank stare. And instantly, he goes rushing right past the heroes, through the flames with Shu right on his tail. He tells Shu to grab Bakugo and get him to the crowd, which Shu just barks at. On the way to the villain, Deku uses his tail to grab a street sign that was blown out of the ground from one of Bakugo's explosions. He gets the villain's attention by throwing his backpack at him, hitting him in the eye. As the villain goes to swing at him, Deku jumps up and uses his claws to dig into the wall of the buildings. With the villain focused on him, Shu rushes him, slamming into the sludge, biting onto Bakugo's clothes and ripping him clean out of the sludge villain, rushing him to the sidelines near the heroes, with Bakugo yelling, "Shu, stop! Ah, damn it, Shu, that hurts, stop!" After that, the sludge villain said, "Damn it, what the hell is that thing?" But it wasn't long until he looked back at Deku's head, thinking, "Oh crap!" Where Deku is using the sign he grabbed with his tails to slam it right onto the sludge villain's face, busting in his teeth and slamming him in his eyes, which are the only parts that could properly be hit. The the sludge villain then started to lash out in anger in every direction without knowing where to hit since he was blinded. Deku was able to dodge a good bit of the swings until he tripped over some rubble and was about to get hit by the sludge villain. When all of a sudden he didn't feel anything when he was expecting to get hit. When he looked up, he saw All Might there, saying, "Not bad, kid. You got the hostage out of the way and blinded him. Though you seem to need to work on your footwork a bit." By this time, the sludge villain's visions return, and he says, "Oh, crap." And as in canon, All Might throws his fist, causing the hurricane that changes the weather. The sludge villain is captured, and the as and all of the media heroes and stuff are just surrounding Deku, Sue, and Bakugo. The heroes are admiring their quirks as well as Deku's ingenuity and are a bit curious about Sue. Though Sue doesn't really take too kindly and starts barking whenever the cameras start flashing him in the face. It took a it was kind of annoying to Bakugo and Deku, considering they could barely see with all the light shined in their eyes. So Deku just said, "See you later, Bakugo," and starts scaling the wall, along with Sue following behind. They start soaring away, with All Might thinking, "Oh, hang on, where is he going?" And Bakugo just slipping away while everybody is looking at Deku soaring off. Like in canon, Bakugo says, "Deku, I'm gonna. I had that guy right where I wanted him." With with Deku just saying, "What, choking you out?" And Bakugo just getting mad and saying, "Oh, screw you," and storms off. Which is when he sees All Might rushing in when he turns back to keep going home, with him saying, "I am here." Obviously, Deku fanboy is surprised and is really excited to see his favorite. Well, I would say his dad is his favorite hero, but All Might's a very good close second, like the very second, for at least for him. And Deku fanboys out a little bit, even asking for the autograph in his notebook, which he does comply, which All Might does do. And he also apologizes for getting into that mess without a pro license. He just kind of ran in there on instinct, which All Might says, "Not at all. Reacting like that to seeing someone in trouble is what it means to be a hero. And when I saw you run towards that villain to save your friend without hesitation, I saw great potential in you." He looks up at All Might saying, "Well, really? Yes. A potential to become one of the top heroes." Which is where he deflates and starts spitting up blood. And Deku is like, "Ah," saying, "What the hell? Who are you? You're not really All Might. Are you another villain trying to get payback for your friend?" Which Small Might just replies with, "I am All Might," and then he starts explaining what happened, the fight all those years ago, along with the injury as well. Which which Deku is just thinking, man, even with parts of his organs ripped out, he's still he's still been fighting so hard and remaining to be the top hero for all these years. That's insane. He really is number one. But then he said, "I came to meet you to give you an offer." He looks at him saying, "An offer? What do you mean? He reaches out his hands and offers him his quirk, which Deku just has a blank stare, thinking, huh? Wait, what? What do you mean? And then he explains that he has the ability to pass his power on to another, which Deku, since he's similar to Canon, Deku starts muttering, thinking, how is this possible? And then he remembers about his dad's side of the family, thinking, well, if the things from my dad's part of the family's history is possible, I guess this isn't too much out of the realm of normal. I I guess. My head hurts just thinking about it. Because if you haven't seen Gargoyles, some crazy, crazy crap happens in that series. But back on topic. He says, okay, hang on, wait. So basically, you can transfer your quirk? It. So how. He replies that, well, yes, obviously this isn't well known. Whenever somebody asks me about questions on my quirk in interviews and everything, I normally just deflect the question, which he does realize, which Deku does realize and remember seeing some of his interviews. After that, he said, "So is this like some kind of huge secret?" With All Might replying with, "Yes, it is. One that could shake the very foundation of our world, of hero society itself." Deku clenches his fist and says, "Look, All Might, listen, the sun's almost down, so if you're going to trust me with something this serious, then I gotta tell you something too. But it's something that you have to see to believe." All Might's confused, thinking, "Oh, what do you mean? And what do you mean see to believe?" Deku just replies with, "I just need you to trust me. Follow me." They heard, uh, thinking that it might be faster, he tells Small Might to hop on his back. Since he's in his small form, he's pretty freaking light, considering he looks like a skeleton with just a layer of skin over it. He grabbed. So they got a good running start with Sue in Deku's arm, and then takes off. Once they got to their apartment, it still wasn't sundown yet. So he said, "Good, we made it in time." All Might saying, "Made it in time for what?" "I need you to meet my dad." He tells him who his dad is, who is Hatoshi, or Hatasi. I really should look up the name for him. But he remembers seeing him, thinking, "Oh, your dad's a hero." You think, saying, "Yes, yes, we we'll tell you our secret, and you can determine whether you want to fill in my dad or not." He looks at him, thinking, "Secret? What kind of secret could a young man like him have that would be something he'd reveal in in exchange for learning after learning about my quirk when I offered it to him? This is pretty strange." But he looks completely serious, so let's just roll with it for now. They go into their apartment where Deku's mom's asking, "Who is this?" And he introduces him as All Might, which Inko is like, "What are you talking about? All Might's a very large, buff man. He isn't a small, bony skeleton person." Which All Might just buffs up for a quick sec and nearly gives Ingo a heart attack. That and with Deku calming her down, saying that we need to talk to Dad. But she replies, "But with Izuku, he's..." And Deku saying, "I know, Mom, but trust me, I need All Might to see this because it's something important. So I never given you any reason not to trust me, so I need you to just go with me on this for now, alright? Inko sighs, saying, alright, I trust you. Your, me and your father raised you to be honest and to be a good person, so we're going to trust. So I'm going to trust the way we raised you. They go over to the living room where All Might just sees a statue, thinking, huh? Why do you have a statue of your father here? I'm guessing since he works nights, he's probably asleep. Shouldn't we wake him up? Deku just replies with, don't worry. He's about to wake up. He opens up the blinds, showing the sun starting to set. With Inko saying, you might want to step back, All Might. He complies, being a little confused about multiple things. Why does he need to step back? Why did they have to come here before the sunset? And why is there a statue of the father of the house in the middle of the living room? But the moment the sun set, he saw that the statue began to crack all over until he started to see glowing eyes coming from it, and Hitoshi bursting from the stone skin, roaring, which really blows All Might back to where he just instead of does a blood spit take. Hitoshi is confused to why there is a skeleton man here, which they have to go through that mess again with All Might buffing up and shrinking back down, introducing himself and all that. And he asked Izuku, "Why did you bring him here and show him me in my sleep?" Well, first, it's complicated, but yeah, we gotta tell him our things first and see if so he can understand, so he can tell you what he offered me. Hitoshi and Inko are confused, thinking, offered you? What could he offer our son that make him so would make him show someone our family secret like this? I don't. Although it is All Might, so we think he can be trusted, definitely. So they sat down and had supper. Well, Hitoshi had his breakfast while everybody else had their supper. While they explained what exactly was Hitoshi, along with his side of the family, about them turning the stone during the day and being released, being flesh and blood at night, about how Deku doesn't have that weakness because he's half gargoyle. And they do leave out the stuff about the Xanatos Corporation, though. That kind of thing isn't really theirs to discuss. But All Might is taken aback and says, now I see what you mean by I had to see it to believe it, young Midori. But I have to be honest. It's surprising, but it shows that you have character in that you won't accept power without showing the person who's offering it to you who you really are. That's something I agree with wholeheartedly, which means in my book, you are perfect candidate to receive my quirk. Which now Inko and Hitoshi do a bit of a spit take, saying it, coughing, saying, "Wait, what?" And they explained about One for All to him, which Hitoshi was like, "Are you serious? You're offering this to my son?" With All Might replying with, "Yes. After what I saw today, I believe he has what it takes." With Hitoshi saying, "Wait, what are you talking about?" Which, right on cue, The news broadcast shows Deku saving Bakugo from the sludge villain and All Might intervening. And instantly, Hitoshi grabs Deku's ear and starts yanking on it, saying, "Really? Alright, I'll give you some slack because you saved your friend, but still." With Deku saying, I'm sorry, my body just kind of reacted. He let go, saying, it isn't alright. But seriously, though, to be honest, you you do our gargoyle ancestors proud with your actions. Which All Might asks is, so gargoyles, they're not just stone statues. They reply with, well, uh, the ones you're thinking of are, but those are just imitations to the real things, which is what Toshi and his side of the family are. Since Deku is, as it turns out, since Deku is a half gargoyle, he doesn't turn to stone during the day. He doesn't have any of their weaknesses. He doesn't have their weaknesses, and he also doesn't have to. He isn't. Well, he's stronger than the normal gargoyles are. It's odd. As for Shu, he's more or less a gargoyle dog. A friend of ours did a little something using Izuku's blood to give him a little companion for the daytime, since the rest of our family would be in slumber as stone statues during the day. All Might kind of gets it, but not really, because he acted so. Is this some kind of quirk? I mean, oh wait, this doesn't make sense. So they explained that ever since the beginning, there's been three races: humans, gargoyles, and the children of Oberon, which or they explained that the children of Oberon are what the human know as their myths and legends, whether it be a god, a specter, or something else. For the Irish, the Banshee was one of them. For the Norse, Odin was one. All across the world, all the legends of creatures, gods, and even mystic tricksters were all just the children of Oberon. Though they don't go into much detail with Oberon since he can be troublesome, especially when you get on his bad side. Most definitely, considering he is literally the big boss or like the king of magic gods, or you know. So he takes this all in and says, "Okay, well, this is big, new. This is something, and I get why you want to keep this secret. I can't imagine with all the villains you and the others took down. I'd imagine that a bunch of villains would love to hear about you being vulnerable during the day like this." They agree with Hitoshi agrees with, which is why they have to keep it secret and why gargoyles are in sanctuaries all across the world. So what brings All Might back a bit, thinking that there are more. How many more of you are there? Hitoshi just replies with, he isn't sure, but there is a good number of us, stretching from in South America to in America to England and some other places as well. All Might takes it all in and says, well, it is a pretty serious secret, but I still am firm about my choice. I want Izuku to inherit my power. Izuku said he doesn't he would be honored to. And Hitoshi pats his son on the shoulder, saying, "Looks like you have a bright future ahead of you, my son." Which All Might goes to leave, giving Deku the information for training. He takes it gladly, and which is where the training to use all for, I mean, sorry about the do the reverse. Where his training for One for All was about to begin, which he finds that it's at Dagobah Beach. Just a mountain of trash covering an entire beach. When he gets there, he says, "Ah, jeez, people have no respect for the environment. This is just a disgrace." Where he hears, "Yes, it is. Quite a pity, too. It used to be such a lovely beach." He turns around, seeing Small Mate, asking, "What exactly are we doing here?" All Might responds with, "Well, isn't it obvious? Your training will consist of cleaning this entire beach." He's surprised, thinking, "Wait, are you serious? All of this? That's insane." All Might just says, "Well, you got 10 months. You gotta clean the beach. Then there's the added training that we have that's away from the beach. And remember, you have to make sure to eat right and study. You can't get into UA just from the practical exam. You have to go. You have to ace the theory exam as well." But it's Deku in his head just thinking, "Oh man, I'm in for a real tough workout for these 10 months, aren't I?" Though cleaning up the trash didn't take that much time. It was a lot easier when there was some metal stuck together, making it hard to grab onto. He just ripped the steel apart and everything, making it easier to grab. So I'd say it takes about 3.5 months of work before the beach was clean. All Might said, "Well, that is impressive. You're done. You're done 6.5 months early." He goes ahead and plucks one of his hair, giving his usual speech, saying, "All right, eat this." Which Deku just says, "What?" All Might explains, saying that he has to digest some of his DNA for him to inherit One for All. Which he's just saying, "Oh, that's so gross." But he just sucks it up and eats the hair. And after that, they wait about an hour or two, and All Might tells him to throw a punch at the water. Now, with gargoyles, they fight with their whole body into it. So, instinctively, when he thinks about, well, maybe if I think about getting pumped up, or I don't know. Well, he tries it, feeling energy course for his entire body, not just his arms, legs, and torso, but pulsating through his wings and his tail as well. He clenches his fist and throws a smash, blowing a giant gaping hallway in the water, basically. He frickin' did a Moses. He said, "Oh, jeez, that's intense. I really, really don't want to use that in the city." With All Might saying, "Yes, yes, definitely. You looks like you can handle 100%, which is pretty obvious considering the feats of a normal gargoyle, with Deku being an even stronger version of a normal gargoyle." After that, they spend the next 6.5 months trying to minimize the amount of energy he's using, which is hard. He's so used to giving fight and sparring everything he has, So it's hard for him to reel back, especially with a power he just attained and isn't very familiar with. But he does get it to about, I'd say 9% at least. Though that's the most he can reel it back so he doesn't destroy an entire city. Which we are now at the point where he goes off for the UA entrance exam. And that was part one of What If Deku Was Half Gargoyle. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Join us on Discord, which I will leave a link in the description below. Also, the poll for the next What If Lotto will be placed with the video. It will have the choice of Asta or Deku. Like before, and like we'll be doing for a while, to make sure that every What If, both old and new, get 2 new parts. I've been asked some questions about this in the comments, and some people aren't quite listening, it seems. But we'll go through all of the What Ifs, both the ones that I've already put parts on, and all the new ones that I have set up. So please remember to vote for which one for if you want a Deku or another uh, for if you want a Deku and Asta What If. And once that's decided, I'll reach into the Deku or Asta hat and draw a piece of paper for the next What If. So, good night, everybody. Oh, and remember to keep safe during this whole quarantine thing. Later.